In today's episode, I arrived Africa's richest city. After the discovery of gold in 1886, this city was nicknamed the City of Gold, home to over 15,000 millionaires, the highest concentration of millionaires in any African city. Here you would find lots of supercars, ultra luxurious award-winning residential and commercial neighborhoods,
home to Africa's richest square mile,
and over $100 billion GDP.
I think this is the center of business in Africa.
I'll spend 100 hours here to find out three things. First,
what really makes this city the richest city in Africa? And am I really standing on gold?
second, how expensive or affordable is it to live here? And lastly, I'll try to investigate if this wealth is evenly distributed amongst everyone living here.
So we're going to find out. Are you excited? Of course, subscribe to the channel, like this video of course because it's going to be awesome.
I arrived OR Tambo International Airport. Instead of use a taxi, I decided to try out the Gautrain constructed for almost $2 billion.
It's actually expensive, about $18 per person.
You would know a city has modern transportation system when you have a subway that connects the airport right to the city center. The train connects to Sandton, Rosebank, Midrand, all the way to the administrative capital, Pretoria. Johannesburg earned its nickname as the City of Gold back in the 1880s with the discovery of gold under the Witwatersrand Hills.
The discovery of gold created Johannesburg as what we know today.
Oh yeah?
And then after Johannesburg, everyone started moving towards Big Bang, started moving towards Sandton. Now we're seeing a slight shift away from Sandton towards Waterfall area.
That discovery put the city on the world map with a current population size of 5 million people. In just 10 years, this city has been transformed into an economic powerhouse, now home to the highest number of millionaires on the African continent.
About 14,000 millionaires in Johannesburg.
Are you one of them?
Pending.
Well, let me ask you, what do these people do to make this money?
A lot of people are in different industries, mining being a big one,
Oh, yeah?
resources, natural resources being a big one.
The suburb of Sandton houses a significant share of Johannesburg 15,000 plus USD millionaires, an upscale area often regarded as the richest square mile in Africa, as well as 25 centimillionaires worth $100 million and above, and 2 billionaires. This is the highest recorded in Africa. Amongst its wealthiest inhabitants are Johan Rupert and family with a fortune of over $10 billion and Patrice Motsepe worth over $3 billion. Most of Johannesburg's wealth is concentrated in Sandton. It is home to luxury shopping centers, 5-star hotels, and the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, which is Africa's largest stock market.
Sandton is where most corporate companies are located.
Oh, so that's why it's called the richest square mile.
Exactly. But not only that, but including the residential areas like your Hyde Park.
Yeah.
Those are quite expensive areas.
A city built on gold, home to billion-dollar corporation, the largest stock exchange in Africa, Africa's most powerful economy. Here you'd find some of the most luxurious neighborhoods in Africa. Should I keep going?
Later on in the video, I would visit a few neighborhoods here to see how much real estate costs. So keep watching. Just inside the mall, I saw a Bitcoin ATM. Okay, this is impressive. This is the first time I'm ever seeing this, a Bitcoin ATM. So I'm in Sandton City Mall here, and I'm shocked. The first time there's no one. Touch the screen to start. Well, I guess they're closed for the day, but this is actually nice, eh? So it means I can actually come here to the mall and I can shop with Bitcoin, right? Tell me more. I rarely find Rolls-Royce, Ferrari and Lamborghini dealership in major African cities, but here it seems like everywhere I turn to, I see supercars for sale. We're just walking right here in Sandton and we saw like a Ferrari dealership. Now in not too many African countries are you going to see a Ferrari dealership. Who really is buying this car? Is it South Africans or someone else? If it is showcased a lot, it means people here can afford it. Let's check out one of the dealerships.
So this here we have a Ferrari 458. This is a specifically high demand vehicle because it's a Spider. If you're a Ferrari fan, you'll know this was the best engine Ferrari made for about 8 years in a row. This one is 4.2 million rand. People have the money to afford this. It's only been on the floor for about a week. I don't think it will be here for much longer. Wow. These are very high demand.
So he said here in Johannesburg, a lot of people can afford these cars. These are not everyday vehicles. I wish I work out to the point where I can come in and buy one of these, huh? Because most people that buy these cars, they don't drive it every day. It's like once in a month, twice a month. It's more of like a collectible.
We have this one for about 2 million rand. But this is the V8 model.
What's the most expensive car you guys have ever sold here?
A Rolls-Royce Ghost. Those are about like 9 million rand. So this is the 2017 Porsche Turbo S. Super fast car, very high demand, elegant. This is one of those Porsches you can drive every day. This one we have it for 2.5 million rand.
I even found a coffee shop where you can spot supercars and vintage vehicles. These vintage cars are probably worth millions of dollars just parked here. Take a look at this. All the luxury cars in South Africa, you can find a piece of it right here. Ferrari, there's Rolls Royces, there's a Bentley, there's Porsche. There are a lot of like vintage cars. Come on, I'll just show you one of it now. 1971 Jaguar. Going for 1.4. This is a 2011 Ferrari. Old as this car is, and it's going for about like 3.2 million rand.
Basically, this is a car storage facility. People can bring their luxury cars, sports cars. They store them here for you. They make sure that they keep them clean, keep them working. But it's also a coffee shop. Anyone and everyone is welcome to come here to look around, see the cars, enjoy the coffee. I recommend the flat white.
Just look at all of these cars. People here have got money.
For me, I like more prestigious cars, like cars that come with prestige, not supercars.
Driving around Sandton, the architecture here looks nothing but futuristic. And as Africa's richest square mile, every inch of land here is worth diamonds.
Look at that! Look at that building, bro. What is this happening here? Man, these buildings are insane. Looks like I'm in London, bro.
Really?
Yeah. Is it true the city of Johannesburg is the richest city in Africa?
According to Google, that's what it says.
So does that mean everybody here is rich? Are you rich? Man, where's your Ferrari?
It's at home.
It's at home. See, that's why I say he's rich, yeah. You can almost guess why it is the richest square mile now, because most of these big corporations here, this is where their offices are. Yo, man, guys, I can't even lie, man. City of Sandton is pretty.
Oh. Wherever you are in Sandton, you would notice this building. This building is called Leonardo. It stands at 234 meters with 55 floors, making it the tallest building in South Africa. It used to be the tallest building in Africa, but now the fourth tallest building, constructed for $110 million.
Of course, I'm gonna go check out what it is or what happens on there. So the way it works is people own this unit.
You can purchase.
People bought it.
Yeah, it's saying it themselves, they can ask to rent or they can rent it out themselves.
Comprising of 200 luxury apartments, including 8 duplex penthouse suites.
How much is this one for a
I'm
night?
not sure rates, you'll have to discuss with
With them.
reservation.
Okay. So at least you got like a small kitchen. Oh, okay.
So it's fully furnished, you got everything.
Yeah, dining, living room area, bedroom just right here. It has its own balcony here as well. So, and then the bathroom here, and that's all for this side. This is what the views look like on top here. So the one bedroom doesn't look bad.
So
What is this?
It's just storage.
Okay, storage.
And it's the guest bathroom.
Oh,
Yeah.
how does this work? So,
So
okay,
if you don't want anybody to come through your bedroom, you just close that glass door off and they just make use of this.
this is what the outdoor entertainment area. So you.
Our pool area. So only if you stay in here, then you have access. But if you just dine in here,
Oh,
you don't
okay.
have access.
Nice, nice,
And then
nice.
we've got cabanas where you can rent out. And then obviously on summer days we'll have movie nights, we'll have pool parties, depends. We've got our spa area.
I couldn't afford to stay here because it's freaking expensive like crazy. $1,500 a night for a 1-bedroom apartment. I have to go find somewhere else. I found this 1-bedroom apartment for $90 a night with an impressive rooftop area. And for $2,500 a night, you can rent this accommodation for a month.
This is the rooftop of my apartment. You have like a very nice sit-out area. You have the whole view of Sandton, guys. Look at this. Very nice. You have the Sandton Towers on there. You got the Leonardo. There's a pool right there. They do have like an entertainment area. You can play snookers. You can sit down here and watch TV if you want. If you have guests, you can bring them on here. The pool is on there. It's not in the best form right now.
I don't know if that's expensive. You guys tell me. What do you think? For Africa's richest city, the real estate market here in Johannesburg is just impressive. So I met up with Sibeya from the YouTube channel Let's Propping to show me what real estate in Africa's richest city has to offer. The first neighborhood we visited is called Stain City, one of the most popular in Johannesburg. Lots of wealthy people stay here.
Yeah, so as in the States, very luxurious, very high-end homes here. You get some of the most beautiful homes that you get in Johannesburg. But another nice thing which they're doing now is increasing the sort of the lifestyle aspect, having more of a clubhouse and also smaller apartments.
This estate features 200 acres of lush indigenous parkland renowned for its world-class facilities, including the Nicholas Design Championship Golf Course with a clubhouse and an equestrian center.
The caliber of people that you'd find at Stain City really does vary. You get, because you have the 1-bedroom apartments up until the 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom homes, the caliber of people really does vary. You get the working professionals or the new professionals entering that corporate world, but you also do get those more managerial, executive people working in sort of your multinational companies.
I can see like massive properties on here, and the architecture honestly is quite upscale.
So the selling point about staying city is that all-inclusive lifestyle that you have. You have a residential aspect, and you also have sort of a golf course and a nature conservative area, and now they're building more of a lifestyle center with the new clubhouse sort of area, and then you even have a school there. Really, it's about building a whole lifestyle center around one estate. So in a way, you actually never have to live there.
Stain City is considered the largest estate in the country in terms of land size.
And in terms of the architecture, it does vary, but within a confined framework. The color palette that you use is very confined to your blacks, your grays, your white colors, and also the shape and the forms that you use with the architecture, but very stunning regardless.
The roads here is excellent. It's kind of like sitting on a hill. Security is top notch. So you're going to have most of the country's elite live here. Unlike in Cape Town, you're going to find a lot of black wealthy millionaires and billionaires here as well.
So the types of properties that you'll find in Stain City vary from your classic sort of 2-bedroom apartment, which is a good offering for more of like your affordable options in inverted commas, which could go for closer to 2 million. In terms of your standalone homes, that your imagination can fly in terms of that. You get your 15 million, 20 million, 30 million, up until I'm sure your 50 millions you can get there. But I think in terms of like your houses, your average could be a 15 million, 10 million home.
I thought that was it, but then we visited this exclusive and extremely expensive gated estate called the Waterfall Acquisition Residential Development in Waterfall City. It's tailored for the super wealthy, like you need to be rich. A living standard only 1% of the entire population is privileged to enjoy. The richest man in South Africa possibly owns a home here.
We're currently at the Waterfall Acquisition Estate. This estate is one of the most exclusive estates in Johannesburg. This estate is tailor-made to the super wealthy, with the stands ranging from 8,000 square meters to 10,000 square meters. There's about 120 plots in the estate.
A perfect location to build a dream mansion.
This whole development was voted the best development in Africa at the African Property Awards in 2009, so very well-known estate. The properties do range from a wide variety from 18 million up until 100 million.
Having visited the Waterfall Equestrian Estate, I can tell you we're talking about Beverly Hills type of infrastructure, and you know the way the super rich like to build their properties on like massive land space. As Siberia mentioned, we're talking about 8,000 square meters, 10,000 square meters of land space. You know, the type of properties where you have driveway leading into your property. Those are the kind of houses you're going to find on here.
From a rental perspective, you could be expecting 80,000 rands per month up until 150,000 rands per month.
The estate is great, the architecture is great. Going to house like South Africa's most wealthy people here, because traveling all through South Africa, I haven't seen a neighborhood that has this type of architecture, that has this much land space. Yo, now this is how the big boys like to live right here.
In terms of this estate, I have to say this is my favorite estate in the entire of Joburg, just because of the way it's tailored. It's tailored to the super wealthy, very exclusive.
Just look at all of this land space. Drive-throughs leading into the property. Wow, South Africa, this is impressive. The most expensive resale in a question can demand upwards of 120 million rands.
This is home to some of the top guys in industry. Your neighbor is the top guy in the mining industry. Your other neighbor is the CEO of the biggest bank in Africa, you know.
Oh, okay.
That's
interesting.
those things are intangible.
And I also visited the Blue Hill Residential Estate, and all I see here is wealth. Large plots to build dream mansions. Look at these mansions. Yo!
We shot a beautiful 7-bedroom home. Interesting architectural details there. It's more of a traditional home, which isn't everyone's cup of tea, but beautiful property, big yard, very impressive. About 28, 26 million rand.
What is the most expensive property you've ever heard sold in Johannesburg, ever?
A few years back, there was a penthouse at the Leonardo, which was currently going for, I think, about 250 million rand.
But one question that needs to be answered: with all of this wealth, how evenly distributed is it?
They call it the city of money.
Because the town is the richest, do you think the wealth is evenly distributed among everybody?
I won't answer that one because I'm not sure about
You're not sure. When they say this is the richest city in Africa, do you feel
Not
like
at all, my brother. I can give you a practical example. Probably about 4 or 5 kilometers from here.
Yeah.
Right, there's a location called Alexandria.
what happens there? Is that the
One of
richest place?
Poorest locations, and it's literally next to Sandton. So it's actually the opposite. You can't say there's wealth distribution.
To investigate further, I was told to visit the township of Soweto, but to really understand the history of the wealth distribution, I had to visit the Apartheid Museum to learn about the past of this country.
What exactly did this mean?
The 2 doors are for apartheid law known as Reservation of Separate Amenities Act. People were forced to walk in separated. If you are black, you will use the non-white entrance. If you are white, you'll use the white only. Should you be found as a black person using the white entrance, you would be jailed, not the other way around, of course. So this was officially discarded or abolished here in South Africa in 1990. Remember, apartheid was an institutionalized racism, government approved. So today, racism is not by law, but by certain individuals.
So you believe it still exists some way, somehow?
Well, in some individuals, yes, it does, but not by law. You see, apartheid racism, it's what it promoted.
South Africa experienced a tragic past, and I learned the system of government established by this guy, Ndukwu, impoverished a lot of black South Africans. During the apartheid government, blacks were segregated and forced to move into townships, one of which is Soweto.
A black township which was bulldozed. It was bulldozed to make way for the white expansion.
The black community was taken
and-
down.
Yes,
like
their
a township.
houses were demolished and they were sent to the matchbox houses. The whole idea was to remove as many black people away from the city, have them commuting to come to the city. Don't have them close because white people would be swamped. The segregation allowed the government to demolish the black areas that were a proximity of the city, so they can be taken to the townships, and they can't come in and out as they please. This section here, it is about Ernest Cole. He was the first black photographer to freelance. He was racially reclassified as a colored person, and that allowed him to be a photographer. Yes, and obviously he exposed the atrocities that people have dealt with during the 1960 scourge of apartheid. The picture here depicts...
This is his photo?
Yeah. One of his pictures shows what it took for African men to attain jobs in the mines. Nothing short of pure humiliation and degradation. They were forced naked with their hands in the air for several hours. This meant to prove how fit they were. Those who brought down their hands within these several hours of expectations, it meant that they were unemployable. They were not fit, so they would be left on the streets.
Although apartheid has been abolished, white-only towns like Orania still exist, where only white Afrikaners live and black South Africans aren't allowed to be part of this community. I visited this town in a previous episode, so you can check it out.
40 townships make Soweto, and we don't all live the same lives. You could have the upper class community here, cross the road is the middle class community, cross another one you have those that live in appalling conditions, not because they're lazy, but due to our history. Yeah, I mean, as you can see, you face the direction, it's the middle class community. Cross the road is the upper class community.
Even here in Soweto?
Yes, even here, there's class.
So
classism is like the new monster.
So even in a township, you got different classes?
Classes, thank you. And also understand how class came about in Soweto. In this country, white people didn't want to do anything with us. So we needed to have our own doctors, our own accountants, our own lawyers. They couldn't buy houses in the northern parts of Johannesburg, even if they could afford them, because of the segregation laws. So what the apartheid government did was they found land for them in Soweto, the upper class community, where they could build their own communities. It's funny for me for somebody to think they're better than me when they also live in the same dump land that I live in,
in a dump land?
Yeah, the dump land. We were dumped here. We didn't come here willingly. Soweto is the home of the revolutionists.
Oh, yeah?
Soweto has given this country 2, if not 3 presidents, This is the high school I went to.
You schooled here?
Yeah, this is the high school I went to.
Is this the most popular one here in Soweto?
No, not really, but this is known as Orlando West High.
Free education?
Yeah, education in South Africa is free, primary school and high school, but university you're on your own. That's why we had a beautiful campaign, if I should say, known as the Fees Must Fall campaign. It doesn't make sense for the government to tell us that education is a key to a better life, and yet we, black people, cannot afford it.
Yeah.
Also, to tell you something, if you listen carefully, you can hear the honking of the minibuses.
Yes.
That's our form of transport. And when they honk, it doesn't mean they're annoyed with us.
Yeah.
It just means there's still space for another passenger inside the bus.
Oh.
And yes, to stop them, you don't have to scream, taxi or cab. There isn't a bus stop when it comes to our minibuses. You just stop
stand
wherever
anywhere.
you want to stop.
I mean, that's how
and
it
then
is
you
in my
use the
country
signal.
too.
Yeah.
Just-
We're just gonna wait a little bit.
He honks and then we do like this.
But since we're going to the towers,
Yeah.
this is the hand signal, this is the hand signal, yeah. Yeah, when we do this, it means we're going to the towers. So you will see when a minibus comes, I will do the hand signal and then
he's
there
gonna
it comes.
stop, like that
There
one.
it comes, yeah. This should drop us there. So this just means we are going to the towers.
Yeah, he's not
This
gonna
just
stop.
means we're going to the towers.
What does
Thank
that?
you.
What does this mean?
I'm going
Sit down
first.
here?
Yeah, I'll just jump in front.
Okay.
Yeah. And also with the high unemployment rate, there's also a lot of informal economy.
Oh, right.
Informal economy, like
informal
people
products.
trading on the streets.
Is this legal?
Yes, it is.
Do people here have access to mortgage? Can they finance their car like the rich people would be able to do?
I'll tell you, when it comes to things like that, my people are still new in that scene. I would tell you that the hardest thing is to get a loan. You have to have good credit to get a loan.
Yes.
So if it was me and my white friend going to a bank to get a loan, he can get it because of good credit. They would deny me.
It's more accessible to the rich people, obviously.
Yes. For example, today marijuana is legal for medicinal purposes.
Here in South Africa?
They say each and
Oh, for
every
real?
household can have like 2 trees. Two trees, not more than that. Because if you have more than that, then you're trading. Who affords the licenses for the dispensary, the things you find in Cape Town? It's the white kids.
Oh,
they
right.
can afford to own a dispensary. Can you imagine a Sowetan owning a dispensary where people would go shopping for marijuana, pushing a trolley, Yeah, those are the cool things we want to see.
Would you say most people rent their homes here or they own it?
They own their homes. That's why I said Dr. Nelson Mandela gave ownership to the people that live in the townships, saying black people in this country, they don't own anything. So the best thing to own would be their houses.
So most people own?
Yeah, they own their houses.
What is the price to buy or build to buy a house here?
Yeah, now obviously the market value changes with time,
Yes.
But I would tell you, it's hard to sell a house in Soweto because in one household you would find 3 generations. The grandparents, the parents, and the kids. So in one household you would find 15 family members.
15?
So how do you sell a house like that? You cannot sell a house like that. It's everybody's house. That's why we call it a family house.
A family house,
Yeah.
Do you say people earn that much?
No, an average person in South Africa, let me say, who's a cleaner or a security guard would earn anything from your 4.5 to 6,000, depending on the company they work for. Yeah, the gap salaries. In this country, we have somebody who would earn 100,000 a month, and then you have somebody who earns 4,000 or 5,000 a month.
I mean, it happens in everywhere.
But the gaps shouldn't be too much.
Comparing this side of the city to what I saw in Sandton shows a huge income inequality. So no, wealth in Johannesburg is not evenly distributed. The sharp contrast between the affluent areas and townships is visible. But despite being the richest city in Africa, Johannesburg struggles significantly with crime and safety.
Is it safe, Johannesburg? Is it safe here to come to Johannesburg?
Yeah, it's safe.
Very safe?
I dare you to walk with your thingy camera for like 3Ks at night.
What is going to happen?
I just dare you, dog. 3Ks at night.
I will never forget this viral video that shows a TV presenter robbed on live TV. And I wonder, if you can be robbed on live TV, where else wouldn't you be robbed?
What exactly happened there? Just take us through that.
Well, I mean, I was literally seconds before going on air. So here comes this person like looking for a phone, and I had my phone in my hand because I had just spoken to the executive producer. They took I think about 2 or 3 phones. My phone, Sophie's phone, I can't remember who else's phone.
Affluent areas like Sandton, Rosebank and Melrose Arch have relatively tight security and private surveillance, making them safer, but townships and inner cities like Hillbrow and Alexander face higher levels of violence and gang-related crime. However, popular business and tourism areas are well patrolled and generally safe during the day, but be vigilant if you must come out at night. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I deserved a subscription from you. Also hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next upload later on this week.